அவர்கிட்ட வந்து உத்திகள் வந்து இருந்ததை நம்ம பார்த்தோம். நேத்துமே வந்து ஒரு ஒரு 2 நாடகம், ஒரே ஒரு கதாபாத்திரம் இருக்க மாதிரி பண்ண ஒரு மிருகம்ன்ற ஒரு நாடகமும், 2 கதாபாத்திரம் இருக்க வந்து த நியூ வேர்ல்ட் ஆர்டர்ன்ற ஹெரால்ட் பின்ட்ரோட ஒரு சின்ன பிளே வந்து பார்த்தோம். ஸோ நம்ம இதுவரை வந்து ஒரே இடங்களுக்குள்ள அதுக்குள்ள இருக்க சின்ன சின்ன முரண்கள்ல வெவ்வேறு உத்திகள்ல நடக்கிற ஒரு பிளேயை வந்து நம்ம பார்த்துருக்கோம். இன்னைக்கு வந்து அதையும் தாண்டி வேற ஒரு இடத்துக்கு வந்து நகர்றது மாதிரி இன்னைக்கு வந்து நம்மளுக்கு பாலா வந்து அவர் பேச போறாரு. ஸோ அவரை வந்து நான் வரவேற்கிறேன். பாலகிருஷ்ணன் அவர் வந்து தேசிய நாடகப்பள்ளியில வந்து கிராஜுவேட் ஆயிருக்காரு. ஸோ அவரை பத்தி நிறைய கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கேன். நான் இதுவரை நேரம் சந்திச்சதில்லை. ஸோ அது மூலமா அவரை தொடர்பு கொண்டு அழைச்சதுக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப இங்க வந்து பேசுறதுக்கு முதல்ல ஒதுக்கிட்டதுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி. அதுக்கப்புறமா வந்து இவர் வந்து நிறைய முக்கியமா குறிப்பா வந்து நாடகங்கள் எழுதியிருக்காரு. அதான் நான் முக்கியமா பாக்குறேன். நாடகங்கள் வந்து ஒரு 8 சோலோ பிளேஸ் வந்து எழுதியிருக்காரு. அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து நிறைய வந்து இன்டர்நேஷனல் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் இருக்கு. இப்போ வந்து சார்ல்ஸ் வேர்ல்ஸ் ஃபெலோஷிப்ல வந்து ரெசிடென்சிக்கு போயிருக்காரு இங்கிலாந்துக்கு. அப்புறம் வந்து ஃபல்ப் ரைட் ஸ்காலர்ஷிப் அது வந்து அதுலயும் வந்து போயிருக்காங்க. இப்படி வந்து நிறைய முக்கியமா வந்து சென்னையில வந்து நிஷான்ற தியேட்டர் குரூப்பை வந்து 2000 வந்து ஆரம்பிச்சு தொடர்ச்சியா நாடகங்கள் வந்து பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. தமிழ்ல, இங்கிலீஷ்ல, ஹிந்தியில, ஈவன் சான்ஸ்கிரிட் பிளேகள் கூட வந்து பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஸோ அதே மாதிரி வந்து இவர் வந்து ஒரு நடிகரா வந்து 180 பிளேகளுக்கு மேல வந்து அவர் நடிச்சிருக்காரு. அதே மாதிரி டிசைனராகவும் இருக்காரு, இயக்குனராகவும். ஸோ எழுதுறாரு, நடிக்கிறாரு. அதனால இந்த நாடகத்தோட பல பரிணாமங்களை தன்னை ஈடுபடுத்தி இதோட டைமென்ஷனை வந்து புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்ட ஒரு ஆளுமையா இருக்காரு. இன்னைக்கு வந்து நம்மளுக்கு வந்து சர்ச்சில், அதாவது கால் சர்ச்சில் எழுதின அவங்க பிளேயோட ஃபாரவே பத்தி அதையும் ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிளா அதை வந்து டீல் பண்றதுக்கு வந்து இவர் பேச போறாரு. அதோட பிளே ரைட்டிங், அதாவது நாடகம் எழுதுறதுக்கான கூறுகளையும் வந்து பேச போறாரு. ஆனா என்ன பிளானோட வந்து இருக்காரு, எப்படி பேச போறாருங்கிறது எனக்கும் தெரியாது, அதே மாதிரி நம்மளுக்கும் தெரியாது. அவரை வந்து வரவேற்போம். அவர் என்ன மாதிரி நம்மளுக்கு வந்து இந்த உரையாடல் இன்னைக்கு நிகழ்த்த போறாருன்னு நம்ம ஆர்வமா இருக்கும். ஸோ நீங்க இப்போ வந்து உங்களோட ஸ்பேஸ் எடுத்துக்கலாம், நீங்க உங்களோட உரையை தொடங்கலாம்.
Thank you, Bharati. So welcome to all of you. And what I really expect from today's workshop is that I would like to also spend time where all of us put pen to paper. So I'm hoping that there is some pen and paper in front of you wherein you can do some writing work. And as you know that in English, the word writing is spelled W-R-I-T-I-N-G. Maybe other facilitators have talked to you about it, but when we look at the word playwright, it is P-L-A-Y-W-R-I-G-H-T. It is not W-R-I-T-E. So playwriting is not about writing plays. The word write basically is derived from its meaning, which means to make. So playwriting is about making plays and not about writing plays. So one of the first lessons we learn in playwriting is once you have finished writing your play, take all the beautiful phrases that you have put in your play and throw them out, and then see whether your play still works. So this is one of the important lessons that I have learned, along with the fact that a good play should be seen and should not be heard. So it is about making a play. So I want to take you through a few playwriting exercises, which I believe may also help you when you tomorrow might want to construct your own plays. So I would like you all to keep pen and paper ready. And I will be conducting this workshop today in English. But if there is any doubt at any time, please do ask. I'll try my best to explain it. Either I can do it in Hindi or in Tamil. I'll try my best. So for the first exercise, what I want you to do is, I want you to describe the feeling of love in one word. Describe the feeling of love in one word. And it is what it means. It is what.
ஹலோ பிரலயன் சார், உங்க மைக் மியூட் பண்ணுங்க.
So describe the feeling of love in one word. What it means to you. I don't want a dictionary meaning. I don't want synonyms. Okay. What it means to you. I'll give you like 10 seconds for it. Describe the feeling of love in one word. And please be as intuitive as you can be about it. Don't think at all. Whatever comes to your mind first, write it. So the second exercise in this is, I want you to describe the feeling of hardness in 2 words. Describe the feeling of hardness in 2 words, but I want it to be a 2-worded sentence. Don't give me 2 separate words. I want a 2-worded sentence. Describe the feeling of hardness in 2 words. Again, I'm going to give you 10-15 seconds for this. So you described the feeling of love in 1 word. Now you are describing the feeling of hardness in 2 words. So you're basically making a 2-worded sentence. Take another 10 seconds if you feel like. And do remember, this is about what it feels to you, what it means to you. I don't want a dictionary meaning or a synonym for it. Lovely. Now, I want you to describe the feeling of disgust in 3 words. I think Tamil, if I translate it to be veruppu, describe the feeling of disgust in 3 words. So you are constructing a 3-worded sentence. It is not 3 separate words. It is what it means to you. I am not standing by any definition, Mr. Brigadish. So whatever it means to you, you may express it in that way. It's personal. Describe the feeling of disgust in 3 words. You are making a 3-worded sentence. So you describe the feeling of love in 1 word. You describe the feeling of hardness in 2 words. And now you are describing the feeling of disgust in 3 words. I'm going to give you 10 more seconds for it. The effort here is to be intuitive and impulsive about it. So whatever strikes you first, put it down. All right. The 4th in the series, describe the feeling of hunger in 4 words. Pasi. Describe the feeling of hunger in 4 words. So you are constructing a 4-worded sentence, not 4 separate words. Describe the feeling of hunger in 4 words. I'll give you 20 seconds for this. So first it was love in 1 word, hardness in 2 words, disgust in 3 words, and now hunger in 4 words. All right. The next one is describe the feeling of softness in 5 words. Describe the feeling of softness in 5 words. Again, 5-worded sentence, not 5 separate words. I'm going to give you 20 seconds for this. Describe the feeling of softness in 5 words. You describe the feeling of love in 1 word. You describe the feeling of hardness in 2 words. You describe the feeling of disgust in 3 words. You describe the feeling of hunger in 4 words. And now you are describing the feeling of softness in 5 words. So, Brigadish, whatever it is for you, you just write it down. There is no challenging anyone's feeling here. It's individual, it's personal. All right. Next, describe the feeling of excitement in 6 words. Uchagam. describe the feeling of excitement in 6 words. I'm going to give you 30 seconds for this. 6-worded sentence which describes the feeling of excitement for you. Describe the feeling of excitement in 6 words. So first you did love, hardness, disgust, hunger, softness, excitement. Now you're describing the feeling of excitement, Uchagam, in 6 words. I'll give you 10 more seconds. Intuitively, whatever you feel. And now the last one. Describe the feeling of sensuality in 7 words. Citrinbum. Describe the feeling of sensuality in 7 words. I'm going to give you 30 seconds for this. A 7-worded sentence describing the feeling of sensuality for yourself. So describe it, Brigadish, in 7 words. The feeling of excitement in 7 words. So to go over the list, you describe the feeling of love in 1 word. You describe the feeling of hardness in 2 words. You describe the feeling of disgust in 3 words. You describe the feeling of hunger in 4 words. You describe the feeling of softness in 5 words. You describe the feeling of excitement in 6 words. And you are describing the feeling of sensuality in 7 words. 15 seconds more. Be simple. What it means to you, you're just putting it down, except you're putting it down in that many number of words as has been told. So I'm just going to call out the words. If anyone wishes to share what they have written, no pressure. You can just unmute yourself and share it. But we're going to go only one by one. So the first word was, describe the feeling of love in 1 word.
May I say?
Please go ahead.
First one, surrender for me.
Thank you. We'll just hold the first one. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Banu. Anyone else to share for? Yes, go ahead, sir.
Love. Love is love only.
For you, love is, the feeling is love. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. Anyone else would like to share? One more? Yes.
Silence.
Yes.
Silence. Silence.
This was Mr. Ravi Lakshmanan.
Yeah. Silence.
Silence. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, one more maybe.
சேர்ந்திரு.
Thank you.
So I'm
Thank you
saying,
so
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Respect.
Respect. If you can even just please maintain this document and don't lose it after the session today. Yeah.
Hope.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I would like to move to the next. Describe
Please,
the feeling.
unmute.
Yes,
You are echoing. Your voice is echoing.
because there are some people who have their mics on.
Okay,
That's why.
okay. Let
Yeah,
everyone
thank you.
please mute the mic.
Thank you. So now the feeling of hardness in 2 words. So new people, go ahead. Those who didn't go the first time. Feeling of hardness in 2 words. Just unmute and give me the answer, whatever you have written down.
Trying continuously.
Thank you so much.
இது போதும்.
Thank you.
Timeless.
2 words.
நேரம் இல்லாமை.
Thank you. One more.
கல்லு மாதிரி.
One more. Thank you. Kallu Madri. Thanks. Okay.
Ruthless
So you may-
behavior.
Ruthless behavior. Thank you so much.
மிக கடினம்.
Yes. Thank you. Let's go to the next one. Describe the feeling of disgust in 3 words. So you can again unmute and answer.
Go to hell.
It's me myself.
Thank you. Can I have the next? Can I have the one after go to hell? I didn't hear that one.
Tell me myself.
I think it was okay. Thank you, Mr. Balaji. Balaji Ram. Yeah. Next one.
மக்களின் மனக்குமுறல். மக்களின் மனக்குமுறல்.
Thank you. Yeah. கேட்டது Mr. Rishi.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. One more. Where are the inother?
Ignoring the conversation. Ignoring the conversation.
Ignoring the conversation. Mr. Shiva.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Lakshmanan, you also wanted to respond to this one? No? Okay, fantastic. We will go to the next one. Describe the feeling of hunger in 4 words.
I just hogged on.
Okay, thank you.
விலங்காகும் தருணத்தில் கிடைத்ததெல்லாம் அமிர்தம்.
Thank you.
என்னிடம் சாப்பிட ஒன்றும் இல்லை.
Thank you. One more.
Why should I leave?
Need of body.
Let's go one. Sorry, I just call out the name. Will Mr. Lakshmanan go first?
Yes, unavoidable need of body.
Thank you. Will Mr. Rishi go? Mr. Rishi?
வயிற்றில் உருவாகும் ஒரு விதமான ரசாயனம்.
Thank you. Mr. Brigadish?
Why should I leave?
Thank you.
வயிறு கேக்குது, மனம் தடுக்குது.
Thank you. Thank you so much. One more. Let's have one more.
இல்லாமல் போவாய்.
Can you please repeat it, Mr. Prabhakaran?
இல்லாமல் இருந்தால் இல்லாமல் போவாய்.
Thank you so much. Great work. Next one. Describe the feeling of softness in 5 words.
Should be in English only or in any other language? In
Any
Hindi
language
also.
you want. It could be absolutely in any language you are comfortable with.
But I have written everything in English. If it had been Tamil, I would have written much better words. I
No
thought
problem.
you are asking everything.
No problem.
Okay.
You know you could have written much better. Problem solved. Don't worry. Yeah.
Okay. The breeze is so soothing.
Okay. Thank you. 5 words for softness.
Sir.
Go ahead.
இயற்கையின் இயற்கையின் நீதான காற்று. இயற்கையின் நீதான காற்று.
Okay. Thank you.
அவளை தழுவும் போது சிலிர்த்தது மனது.
Thank you. One more. Anyone?
அவள் மலரை விட மென்மையானவள்.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next one. Describe the feeling of excitement in 6 words.
I am on cloud 9 now.
Okay.
தன் காதலை ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளும் பொழுது.
Okay. Thank you. One more.
இந்த செவ்வானத்தை முத்தமிட தோன்றுகிறது.
Thank you.
துடிதுடித்து எழும்பி காற்றட்டையை அணிந்து துள்ளி குதித்தேன்.
Thank you. All right. The last one, sensuality. Describe the feeling of sensuality in 7 words. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to explore it.
Okay. Thank you. Next one,
அலையாய்
please.
உணர்வாய் எனக்குள் எழும் இந்த பூச்சி ஊர்கிறது.
Thank you. Next one.
மனம் குணம் நினைவுகள் எல்லாம் என் உணர்ச்சிகளை நிலை மாற்றுகிறது.
Thank you. One more maybe. Go ahead.
Yeah, can I? Thank you. பேச பார்க்க அதிகரிக்கும் பாம்பு.
Thank you. So thank you so much all of you for having participated in this exercise. one reason why I also went into it is that when we are talking on stage and, you know, when an actor is rendering dialogues, if the dialogue has more than 7 words, sometimes it fails to grab the audience's attention is one belief. So one school of thought goes to say that keep each dialogue, each sentence for 7 words or less than 7 words. But of course, all of us know that there are so many exceptions to this rule also. If you were to take Sarah Kane's Crave, there is an entire monologue which has got no punctuation mark. If you were to take Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot, on Autant de Godot, there is Lucky's speech, which goes on for, I think, 4 pages. And it just goes on. Again, no punctuation marks in that sense. So rules, of course, are there to be broken. There is no strict compartment in which you have to sit and write. But maybe you can keep this in your mind when you're creating your own plays, that if I keep my sentences at 7 words or lesser, possibly they might have a stronger impact. Again, not a die-hard rule, just a rule to keep as a yardstick. So what I want us to do now is that I am going to create a tiny scene for you, for which you have to write dialogues for me. Yeah, so I'm going to create that scene for you first. After that, I'm going to lay down rules, following which I want you to create the scene. So it's a very simple scene. There are 2 characters. Character A is called as Drona, and character B is known as Ekalavya. Character A runs a school for martial arts and weapons training in the city called Hastinapura. Ekalavya, who is the son of the king of the Nishadas, who rules from the forest, wants to learn from Drona. So Ekalavya comes to the city, meets Drona, and asks him to take him as his student. Drona rejects him, saying he will not teach a Nishada. Ekalavya, disappointed, goes away. That is my scene. Okay, that is my scene. There are only 2 characters in this, Drona and Ekalavya. If you feel it's comfortable to put them down as A and B, please go ahead. But now comes 6 rules which have always helped me when I am constructing scenes for my plays. These 6 rules are the rule of the 6 questions. So for each character, we need to answer these 6 questions in every scene. Question number 1. What do I want? When I say I, it means the character or the actor playing the character can also think about it. What do I want? Which tells us the objective of the character. Kurikol. What do I want? The second question is, why do I want it? Which gives us the intention, nokam. Because what you want, you know, but if there is no reason why you want it, your scene will fail. You need to have a proper intent. Why do I want it? The third question is, how am I going to get it? Which gives us the actions, sail. What is it that I have to do in order to achieve my objective? So question number 1, what do I want? Objective. Why do I want? Intention. How do I get it? Action. Fourth question, what will happen if I don't get it? Stakes. What will happen if I don't get it? If nothing will happen if you don't achieve your objective, scene will fail. You need an answer for this. What will happen if I don't get it? What is at stake here? Fifth question, what prevents me from getting it? Obstacle, tadangal. What prevents me from getting this? If nothing prevents you from getting what you want, scene will fail. Last one, why now? Urgency. These 6 questions need to have proper answers for every scene. So as a playwright, we keep in mind the answer to these 6 questions for each character. And when there are 2 or 3 or more characters who meet in a scene, who confront in a scene, because there will always be a conflict in a scene. If a scene does not have a conflict, scene will fail. For example, boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl, girl falls in love with boy, both get married and live happily ever after. It's a very beautiful, nice story. It will make a very bad play or a film. We need a conflict. Boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl, girl falls in love with boy, but boy and girl's parents hate each other for the last 7 generations and they want to kill each other. Now we have a conflict, and now we have from Romeo and Juliet till the last cinema you saw, because there is conflict. So every scene needs to have a conflict. I had one question, just check it out. The fourth one again in Tamil. Okay, just give me 1 second. I will just retrieve the Tamil word for it, for stakes. Of course, in the meanwhile, if anyone can help, that's also great.
என்ன இழந்துருவாங்கங்கிறது ஸ்டேக்னா நமக்கு என்ன கிடைக்கும்? லாபம். லாபம்.
What will you lose? That is stake. Correct. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. So that is stakes. So this is your scene between Ekalavya and Drona, in which you have to answer these 6 questions for both the characters. What does Ekalavya want? Why does he want it? How is he going to get it? What will happen if he doesn't get it? What prevents him from getting it? Why does he want it now? What does Drona want? Why does he want it? How is he going to get it? What will happen if he doesn't get it? What prevents him from getting it? Why now? So these 2 characters, you will see that once you identify their objectives, they will be opposing, because only when they oppose will there be a conflict. Only when there is conflict will there be drama. And without a conflict, we cannot create drama. So this is one rule that I like to follow when I'm writing plays, to get answers to these 6 questions. And it also works in reverse when I am in a play as an actor. When I take a script and I read it, I answer these 6 questions to help me to create also the character of the required play. But that's not for today. So what I want you to do is, I want you to construct a scene in which you are allowed to use only 10 dialogues. No dialogue should have more than 7 words. Between Ekalavya and Drona, you can choose how you divide the dialogue. It could be 10-0, 9-1, 5-5, that's your choice. But you have to create a scene which should convey whatever you, the playwright, want to convey to the audience. And remember one important thing, when we are writing and creating characters, there are no good characters and bad characters. As far as the characters are concerned, whatever they are doing something which they believe in, something which they believe is correct. So don't construct a good or a bad character, just construct 2 characters trying to achieve their objective. But all you are allowed to use for this scene is 10 dialogues, and you are going to be given exactly 10 minutes. Time starts now. If you are finished, you can just use that icon down there and give me a raise hand, so I know, okay, this many people have finished.
Can we use all 3 languages, or any one particular language?
No, language is absolutely your choice. You may use any language you feel most articulate in. No problem about language.
Any particular one language only?
No. Any language. You want to mix 2 languages? Go ahead. No problem.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you. I think there are 2 of us who have completed it. Take 3 more minutes. Only 10 dialogues. No dialogue to be more than 7 words. Thank you for those who have completed it. We are just waiting for a few more to finish. We have 2 more minutes to go. Thank you. Yeah, Pragadish, we just want the dialogues. We don't want any scenic descriptions. You will be reading out only your dialogues. Of course, you're welcome to write whatever you wish to write, but I will be listening only to the dialogues. Last minute. All right, fine. So would anyone like to read their script? We have a solid scene. Okay, let me see. Some people have offered to. Okay. Rishi, would you like to go first?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, please.
இந்த சீன் எங்கன்னா வீட்டில் நடக்கிறது. ஆஸ் யூஷுவல் இப்போ கரண்ட் சுச்சுவேஷன் வீட்டில் நடக்கிறது. அம்மா பையன் 2 பேர் இருக்காங்க. அம்மா வந்து சொன்னாங்க, என்னடா எப்போ பார்த்தாலும் சவ மாதிரி அந்த ஃபோனே கட்டிட்டு அழுகுற. பையன் சொல்றான், ஏம்மா அது ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸ்மா, அதில் தானே நான் எல்லாமே பார்க்கணும், அதெல்லாம் படிக்கணும், செய்யணும், எல்லா வேலையும் எனக்கு அதில் தான் இருக்கு. இந்த காலத்தில் கோவிட் டயத்தில் கிளாஸுக்கெல்லாம் வெளியே போய் படிக்க முடியாது. இப்போ வர காம்படிட்டிவ் எக்ஸாம் எல்லாமே ப்ரிப்பரேஷனுக்கு எனக்கு ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸ் தான் முக்கியமாக இருக்கு. எனக்கு நெட்டு எல்லாமே இதெல்லாம் பார்க்க முடியும், செய்ய முடியும். அம்மா சொல்றாங்க, ஏண்டா அந்த காலத்துல நான் என்ன அப்படியடா படித்தேன், புக்கு இருக்கு, கைடன்ஸ் எவ்வளோ இருந்துச்சு, ஏன் இதே வச்சுக்கிட்டே இருக்க? அம்மா, உன்னோட நிலைமை எனக்கு புரியுது. நீ உன் மனசுல உன் பையன் தப்பா போயிடுவானோ, எங்க இந்த நெட்டு இணையதளம் எல்லாம் ஒரு பையனை தப்பான வழிக்கு கொண்டு போய் கும்பிடுற, எனக்கு அது தெரியுதுல. அதே தான் சொல்றேன், ரொம்ப நேரம் பார்க்காத, உடம்புக்கு கேடு. கண்ணுக்கும் மனசுக்கும் எப்பயும் ஒரே ஒரு வேலையை மட்டும் தான் தரணும், அப்பனதான் புத்தி நல்லா இருக்கும்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஏம்மா நீ சொல்றதெல்லாம் சரிதான், ஆனா இந்த காலத்துல ஒரு வேலையை ஒருத்தன் பார்த்தா ஜெயிக்க முடியாது. ஒருத்தன் போட்டி போறான்னா அவனோட 10 மடங்கு நான் போட்டி போடணும். அப்ப இங்க எல்லாமே நிறைய இருக்குல்ல, போட்டி அதிகம் இருக்கு, ஆனா போட்டியாளர்கள் கம்மியா தானே இருக்காங்கப்பா. அம்மா நீ சொல்றது சரிதான், ஆனா இங்க போட்டிக்கான தேவை வந்து அதிகமாகிக்கிட்டே இருக்குல்ல. தன் மகனை நல்வழிப்படுத்தும் முறையில் மனதில் தோன்றும் தாயின் அன்பும் பரிதவிக்கும் நிலையில் மனிதனின் குமுறல் சத்தமுமே இதன் அடிப்படை. தேங்க்யூ சார்.
Okay, Rishi, 1, I said only 10 dialogues allowed. Second, I said all dialogues to have 7 words or less. And third, how are you connecting this to the plot which I gave you between Ekalavya and Drona? I would like you to think about it. Yeah? Would Shabina Banu, would you like to go next? And then Brigadish.
Yeah, I just started, but I have not connected this to any other thing. I just thought कि द्रोणा and एकलव्य ही बात कर रहे हैं.
That उन्हीं को बात करना है और किसी को नहीं करना है.
या किसी को नहीं, बस बैकग्राउंड जो है वही है, सेम फॉरेस्ट वगैरह. I mixed in Tamil and Hindi, दोनों मिक्स कर लिया मैंने. நமஸ்தே குருஜி, அவனை ஏறிட்டு பார்த்து என்ன, தட்ஸ் த டயலாக் ஆஃப் துரோணா. என்ன, நான் உங்களை குருவாக நினைக்கிறேன், என்னுடைய சிஷ்யர்கள் மிக சொற்பம். I have very few shishyas only, limited. Okay. Then ஏகலைவா, உங்களால் எனக்கு வில்வித்தை உங்களிடம் எங்களுக்கு வில்வித்தை கற்றுக்கொள்ள ஆசை. ஆவல், ஆசை, ஆவல், 2 words I have written. என்ன தகுதி உள்ளது உன்னிடம், கற்க வேண்டும் என்கிற ஆர்வம், அது மட்டும் போதுமா துரோணரிடம் கற்றுக்கொள்ள? ஒரு மாணவனுக்கு அதற்கு மேல் என்ன தகுதி வேண்டும்? குலம், கோத்திரம் என்று உண்டல்லவா? That's it.
Thank you so much. Brigadish, would you like to go ahead? Okay, you have put it in the chat. We'll just go through it then. Okay, thank you. You have introduced one more character, no problem. Okay, so thank you. And I'm guessing some more of you have also written it. Please keep it nice and safe with you. So one of the other lessons. Okay, sure. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, 10 வந்துச்சா தெரியாது. ஆனா ஏ வந்து வணக்கம் ஐயா, பி வணக்கம், நீங்க யார், என்ன வேணும்? நான் ஏலக்கலப்பியா, நீங்க என்ன எனக்கு கற்பிக்க வேணும்? எனக்கு இப்ப நேரம் இல்லை. பி, எனக்கு நேரம் இல்லை இப்ப. ஏ வந்து என்ன நீங்க மாணவனா ஏற்றுக்கொள்வீங்களா? ஏ வந்து பிறகு வாங்க. பி வந்து எப்ப வாரது? என்ன நீங்க மாணவனா ஏற்றுக்கொள்வீங்களா? எனக்கு நீங்க யாருன்னு தெரிஞ்ச பிறகு பார்க்கலாம். ஆனா இப்ப எனக்கு நேரம் இல்லை.
Thank you. So yeah. So the next work for you.
Microphone mute.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So the next work for all of you is that I want you to edit at least 5 dialogues from what you have written and still make your play work. Okay, that's something I would like you to do on your own, to remove 5 dialogues from whatever you have written and see whether your play still works. So one lesson which I learned in constructing a play is that let us not give too many scenic directions or directions of emotional state, because finally when actors end up playing it on stage, it is quite possible, depending on the day's work, on that day's scenario, environment, interpersonal relationship, stimulus, etc., it could be completely different. As all of us who have watched the same play on 3 or 4 different shows know, no play will ever remain the same, you know, when we watch it. So if you, for example, give an instruction, the character enters the stage looking very sad. Now, these kind of directions sometimes put too much on pressure on actors to presume emotional states, and that sometimes goes against good acting. So as a good playwright, it's very important that we limit the directions that we are putting down to the bare minimum in order to make the play work. I have read some plays which start by saying that the girl climbed down from the 3rd floor of the house. The playwright even forgets that plays are done on stage sometimes. You know, fine with this is something which even very renowned playwrights do. Okay, so the point is, but as a good playwright, we need to give only the direction which is required to take the play forward. Nothing more than that. Keep paucity of words. The minimum words required to take your story forward is all that you need. Most important, are you able to answer the 6 questions for your character? That helps you to construct a scene which is playable by actors. End of the day, a playwright's play is not meant to be read in a book. It is there to be played on stage. That is the ultimate aim of a play. So that we should always keep in our mind, that we are writing it in order to be played. So I actually had one more exercise today, but time is short. So I am going to jump to Carol Churchill, and I am going to share the script with you first, and then we will discuss it. Just give me 1 second to retrieve my script. Yeah, there it is. So are you all able to see it?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So this is a play called Far Away by Carol Churchill. It was also put on stage among many directors, also by Peter Brook. And I believe Bharati has sent this entire script with some more plays of Carol Churchill for you. So please read them, a very brilliant playwright. Let's just look at this script. Harper's house, night. Joan, I can't sleep. It is the strange bed. No, I like different places. Are you cold? No. Do you want a drink? I think I'm cold. That's easy enough then. There are extra blankets in the cupboard. Is it late? 2. Are you going to bed? Do you want a hot drink? No, thank you. I should go to bed then. Yes. It's always odd in a new place. When you have been here a week, you will look back at the night and it won't seem the same at all. I have been to a lot of places. I've stayed with friends at their house. I don't miss my parents if you think that. Do you miss your dog? I miss the cat, I think. Does it sleep on your bed? No, because I chase it off. But it gets in if the door is not properly shut. You think you have shut the door, but it hasn't caught, and she pushes it open in the night. You will see that after this dialogue, whomsoever script this was, they have drawn a line, and on top, they have written 1 in Roman numerals. So a script is always dividable into what is known as units. So any scene of a play can be divided into units. So how do we decide where one unit ends? The thumb rule is wherever the particular action being performed changes, or if the idea being discussed changes, if the space changes, or if somebody new enters into that scene, then at that point, the unit changes. So if you were to look just at the first unit, you will be able to answer the 6 questions for Joan and Harper. Of course, you will have to read this entire scene to figure out what is it that Joan wants and what is it that Harper wants. But I want us all to just basically understand this idea that a script should be breakable into units. Why into units? Because when it is there in smaller components, it allows you, the playwright, to trace the journey of your character. Where the character starts, where they went next, what happened after that, then what happened, finally what happened. So if you go on just 2 more lines, Harper says, come here a minute, you're shivering. Are you hot? Joan says, no, I'm all right. Harper, you are overtired, go to bed. I'm going to bed myself. Joan says, I went out. And you see there is a line there which says unit 2 has ended. So a unit is necessarily not 10 lines, 15 lines. A unit can end wherever it ends. The point at which Joan changes the status quo of what is happening by saying, I went out, it is a unit change. So as a playwright, you get to understand, once you have written a scene, how many units are there in that scene of yours? Is every unit of yours going towards the objective of the character? If it is not going, then it is possible for you to rework your script, change your dialogues to make it go towards the objective of the character. So this is this one particular scene, just scene 1, I will advise that you read it. It's a very straightforward scene, no big deal. Read it and try to answer the 6 questions for Joan and Harper. And once you have done that, break it up into units and see what it means as a playwright. If that makes sense, then when you sit down to write either your Ekalavya script or any other script, it will be very comfortable for you. Once you have finished your scene, break it into units to understand, is the character pursuing their objective in each unit, going towards what they finally want. Every play is about what A wants, why A cannot get it, who is preventing A from getting it, what is A doing to get it, and why does A want it now, is the structure of literally every playable play. When I say playable, what I mean is a play is written to be performed. A play is not written to be just discussed either in a classroom or to be made into a thesis. A play needs to be performed. So as a playwright, it becomes your prerogative to make sure that whatever you write down is not just beautiful words, poetic words, emotional words, but it is lines an actor can use in order to pursue what they need in that scene. Every scene has what is known as an objective. Kurikod. The entire play will have for that character what is known as a super objective. What is it finally this person wants? If you were to take the play Oedipus Rex, I am taking Oedipus as an example because I believe many will be familiar with it. if you take the play Oedipus Rex, when the play starts, the objective of Oedipus is to be a good king, to save his people from whatever plague is troubling them, etc. But when he enters in scene 1, that is his super objective. His objective when he enters in scene 1 is to appease the crowd and make them go back. So if you see that the objective of the character is to appease the crowd and make them go back, but that is not the super objective. Super objective is to save the kingdom. And as the play progresses, we will see that in each scene, the objective is different. So every scene you construct will have an objective which goes towards the final objective. So I can also understand that this is too much of information to process inside 1 hour. So what I would like to conclude by saying is that you want to be a playwright, write. Every day, put down 100 words on paper. Create tiny conflict scenes between A and B. You can start by taking, if you like, well-known mythology or fables, folk tales, stories which possibly you are familiar with because they belong to your particular region or state. Take those stories and create those conflict situations between A and B. A wants something, B does not want A to get it. That is a scene. Only where there is a conflict can there be drama. Only if drama exists will the script work. So I did not learn playwriting in an institution. Playwriting is something that I picked up on my own because I just had the urge to create particular plays, and it took a lot of trial and error before I figured out what kind of play works and what kind of play does not work. And how do I find that out? Because it is not something which can be marked on paper. It is the audience which will tell you what you have written works or not works. When your play goes in front of the audience, they let you know what changes need to be made to your script, what more needs to be done, so you can keep bettering yourself in that sense. So if you want to be a playwright, if you like playwriting, please write. The more you write, the better the playwright you are going to become. Understanding conflicts, and when we move, every play is about people moving to resolve conflicts. That is what every play is about. We are trying to resolve conflicts. Even if it's a soliloquy, even if it is a person sitting and articulating their inner thoughts loudly, there is a conflict. When Hamlet is sitting down and talking to himself, to be or not to be, that is the question, whether it is nobler, that entire soliloquy. Hamlet is sitting there and weighing the pros and cons of committing suicide. There is a conflict. Varvada, Savada.
And
there is a conflict.
There's a question evolving, like, you were telling that it is best to have these seven word sentences and so on. What do you think is important when you write longer periods of text, or sort of like the monologues? If you write such things, what is in that?
Yeah, like I said, that this 7-word thing is not a cardinal rule. It is just something to be kept as a yardstick which could help you to construct. But but when you are writing impulsively, if you end up creating a sentence which has possibly 15 words, and if that sentence works, then why not? There is no,
And for me also, this questions is evolving. Like, if I know some monologues and also long monologues, and but I was thinking when I hear you, is it really important, if even if I have a monologue, to split it in the way like you say, that I don't talk more than 7 sentences?
No, I didn't say 7 sentences. I said not more than 7 words in one sentence.
If I for example, like to be or not to be, that I make a pause, and then that is the question, whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer this or like that. If you have to if you have to, if this rule what you said, if it is also you can put also in monologues to divide it. That was the question.
Yes, you can. You can, although Shakespeare doesn't do it, but you can. So oft it chances upon particular men that for some vicious mole of nature in them, wherein first comma has come only now after 11 words. So it is not a cardinal rule. It is just a rule that when you start writing your plays, if you were to just keep this as something to guide you, then I believe that it helps you to construct stronger sentences. It helps you to construct and get more meaning inside lesser words. And that is very powerful. Like Shakespeare himself said, brevity is the soul of wit. So it helps us then when we use lesser ones. But yes, don't be bound by any rule or regulation. This is play. We have to play. And that's the only way we are going to be able to explore and engage. But the rule for playwriting is write every day, at least put down 100 words on paper. Your writing will evolve. The way you construct your conflicts will evolve. They get better and better. You are able to pack them stronger. And before you know it, you have a full-length play ready.
செபஸ்டியன் ஏதோ கேக்குறீங்க?
செபஸ்டியன்
தமிழ்ல கேட்கலாம்.
கேளுங்க
ஒரே கேள்வி இல்லைங்க. ஆக்சுவலா இப்ப நம்ம ஸ்கிரிப்ட் எழுதுறத பத்தி இந்த டயலாக்ஸ் எல்லாம் பேசிட்டு இருக்கோம். அதுல என்னன்னா இப்ப வந்து சில காட்சிகளுக்கு வந்து டயலாக் தேவைப்படாது. அதுல வந்து ஒரு பாடி மூவ்மெண்ட் இருக்கு அப்படின்னா அந்த மூவ்மெண்ட்டை எப்படி எழுதணும், அதுக்கு ஏதாச்சும் ரூல்ஸ் இருக்கா? இப்போ ஒரு காட்சியில வந்து ஒரு பாடி மூவ்மெண்டோட ஒரு விஷயம் பண்ண வர்றாங்க அப்படின்னா அதை ஸ்கிரிப்ட்ல எழுதுறப்ப எப்படி எழுதணும்? இந்த டயலாக்ஸ் ஓகே ஒரு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் இருக்கு, அந்த மூவ்மெண்ட்ஸ் மட்டும் எப்படி எழுதுறதுக்கு அதுக்கு ஏதாச்சும் ரூல்ஸ் வச்சிருக்காங்க?
ஸோ இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் கொஸ்டின். இப்போ வந்து நம்ம விஜய் டெண்டுல்கரோட சைலன்ஸ் த கோர்ட் இஸ் இன் செஷன், காமோஷ் அதாலத் ஜாரி ஹை, ஒன் ஆஃப் ஹிஸ் ஃபேமஸ் பிளேஸ். அதை எடுத்துட்டோம்னா அதுல வந்து he writes one direction. The playwright writes a direction that at one point பேனாரே பாய் அவங்க தனியா ஒரு சேர்ல உட்காந்துருக்காங்க, மீதி எல்லா கதாபாத்திரங்களும் அவங்களுக்கு பின்னாடி வந்து ஒரு மிருக முகத்தை பண்ணிட்டு அவங்க பின்னாடி இப்படி வந்து நிக்கிறாங்கன்னு. And the light fades out. So that is the direction given by the playwright. Now you can just write it the way I said it, because that's the way Vijay Tendulkar has written it. But whether a director is bound to do it becomes a different thing. Varthegal tani vishayam. A playwright's words cannot be changed, exchanged, or reworked by any director. I think the written word is very sacred. But these kind of directions which a playwright writes, because they do not come under because it enters into visualization on stage, I think that becomes the director's job. Even in Andayug, Dr. Dharamveer Bharti writes that actors wearing masks and they are wearing some kind of cloaks and they are all moving like this in the starting of the play. I have rarely seen it being done by any director when I have seen many versions of Andayug. I think the visualization of what happens on stage should be left to the director, but the words which carry the conflict forward, that needs to be provided by the playwright. That's of course my very personal thought. Yes.
Thank you.
I think Ms. Banu had a question. You wanted the difference between write and write. So WRITE write is எழுதுறது. When we write, WRIGHT write comes from the archaic English word which means to make. செய்யறது. For example, a cartwright is a person who made maps, because in those times they used to carve maps out of wooden boards. He made maps, he or she made maps, so they were cartwrights. So playwright becomes a person who constructs or makes a play, but not writes a play. A playwright is not per se a writer, but a person who constructs or puts together things. Thank you.
வேற கேள்விகள் நண்பர்கள்?
It is apart from
how do you
this.
think
Okay. சார் நீங்க பேசுங்க, அப்புறம் நான் பேசுறேன். நீங்க just carry on.
I just want to Tamil, how do you start a dialogue? For me it's far away the starting dialogue. I can't sleep. It's quite interesting how to start எப்படி ஒரு நாடகத்தை தொடங்குறது அப்புறம் வந்து எங்க முடியுது. I read whole scene. So can you talk about a little bit about how to start? The starting line is very quite interesting for me. I can't sleep.
For me, பாரதி கேட்ட கேள்வியோட பதில் வந்து it is something I like to follow, which Harold Pinter, the Nobel Prize winner, and I think you had read one of his plays yesterday. He had given a very nice idea to playwrights. It's a little illegal, but I'll still tell you. So his idea was, on the kalathla, he will take a dictaphone. His dictaphone will be inside his coat pocket, and he will travel by a bus, or he will travel by the subway, or he will sit in a cafe, and he will gently record people who are talking all around him. Then he will go home and listen to the cadence of the talk. Like Bharati said right now, எப்படி ஆரம்பிக்கிறது ஒரு விஷயத்தை? You know, there is no specific start. Hi, I'm here because of this. No, I'm not here to give you information. I am not a postman or a postwoman. A playwright's job is not to give information. So Painter would record actual conversations. And when you think of actual conversations in real life, you realize there are repetitions. They start with pauses. Sometimes they start with a silence. Sometimes they talk with something absolutely abrupt. And it could just start with, you want more sugar, or how is so and so, or which bus. Maybe the first dialogue is which bus. So when we listen to real conversation of everyday life, it allows us to comprehend how in life interpersonal relationships actually make dialogues happen. Sometimes you might just enter your house and your mother might ask you, Enna? And that might make sense to you. Now, as a playwright, only if you step out of beautiful writing will you be able to put down the start of a play as Enna. So listening to everyday conversation allows us to enhance our own methods of writing. Of course, there's a possibility that one of you might want to write a play in a classical format, say following the rules either of the Natya Shastra or the way the Greek tragedies were written, following the Aristotelian rules for that. Then you will have a fit structure. I have to give this information first, then this person has to come in, then this will have to happen. Here I have to reach my anticlimax. So these are the rules which are put down for codified writing. But today, when we write plays, there is no codification. We write free. Your play can start anywhere and end anywhere. You are not expected to give any information to your audience or to make the life of your audience easier.
And
you are.
And also,
yes.
like பாரதி சொல்லிச்சு நைட் தூங்காம இதன்றன்னு சொல்லி நாங்க புது ஆக்களை சந்திக்க போறதுனாலும் அது நடக்கும் தானே. எப்படி தொடங்குறன்னு சொல்லி நாங்க தூக்கம் இல்லாம இருப்போம், எப்படி போய் அந்த ஆளை கதைக்க போறோம்னு. ஸோ இட்ஸ் ஆல்சோ நேச்சுரல். ஸோ I think it's starting is always natural, but I think also if the scene is starting with அம்மா பையனோட தொடங்குறன்னு சொன்னா நீங்க சொன்ன எக்ஸாம்பிள் கூட பாசிபிள். நோ, என்ன எந்த தொடங்குறதுல எந்த பிள்ளையும் இல்லை என்றும் நினைக்கிறேன் நானா.
Yeah, so what helps you to put down your words is understanding what is the objective of your character. ஜோனோட குறிக்கோள் என்ன? இந்த காட்சியில ஜோனோட குறிக்கோள் என்ன? அவ வந்து தன்னோட விண்டோல இருந்து ஒரு மரத்துல இருந்து இறங்கி, she has gone out, she has seen something very horrible. She has seen little children being packed into a truck, her uncle beating them, her uncle beating a man so hard that he bled, and then they will all be put in a truck and sent away somewhere. So this 12-13-year-old girl is out of her wits that what is her uncle and auntie doing? As far as her auntie is concerned, she's sleeping in her room. ஏன்னா இது ராத்திரி 12 மணிக்கு மேல நடக்கிற விஷயம். And Joan decides to come down because her objective is to find out the truth. She wants to know the truth from her auntie. With that objective, she comes down. So when this little girl is walking down with that objective, what is it that she can say to her aunt so that her aunt will even allow her to stay in the same room? If she can't come down and say, Auntie, I just saw this happening, because she's scared. No problem. So what your words will always be decided also by your objective. So once you know the objective of the character, you will know what words to put in there. Once I tell you where you are going for your holiday, then you will be able to pack your suitcase properly. So if I tell you pack your suitcase for a holiday, it's confusing. I have to put my coat inside, or my swimming suit inside, or my mountain gear inside. What do I have to put? When I tell you where you're supposed to go, then you can pack your suitcase properly. Once you know what is the objective of your character, எந்த குறிக்கோளை சாதிக்கிறதுக்கு அவங்க செயல்பட போறாங்க, once you know that, then you can decide what is the kind of words that they need to talk. So which is the first word which will come down is probably something a playwright will spend maximum time at. Maybe it will be the first half an hour of their writing, and I assure you, by the time you finish your play, you would have changed that 30 to 40 times, which is perfectly all right. That's what this entire journey of playwriting is about, to figure out what makes your play work, and whatever does not, throw it out. I don't know whether Carol Churchill knew when she put down this word, I can't sleep, that 30-35 years after she having written this play, one day online so many people are going to sit and discuss the importance of her first line. But that play has made such an impact. Yes, Mr. Patrick, you had something?
I wasn't sure. நான் வந்து பாரதியிட்ட சொல்லுவோமா அல்லது இப்ப பொதுவா சொல்லுவோமான்னு யோசிச்சேன். இட்ஸ் ஆல்சோ உங்களுக்கு டாஸ்டோயெவ்ஸ்கியோட வெண்ணிற இரவுகள் தெரியுமான்னு தெரியாது. அதுல அந்த மெயின் கேரக்டர் போய் அவர் வந்து யோசிப்பார், வந்து அவருக்கு எப்படி ஹலோ சொல்றேன்னு அவ கண்டுட்டு யோசிப்பார், நான் மை லேடி என்று தொடங்குறதா யோசிப்பார். யோசித்து சொல்லுவார், இதுதான் இவ்வளவு காலம் எழுதின ரஷ்யன் லிட்ரேச்சர் எழுதிட்டாங்களே, இப்படி சொல்றது தப்பு என்ன ஒன்னும் சொல்ல மாட்டார், அவர் டைம் கொண்டு நிற்பார். So another, it's a good starting sometimes, like in the struggle, and the starting struggle is also sometimes very strong starting. It is அது வந்து நாடகம் இல்ல, ஆனால் டாஸ்டோயெவ்ஸ்கில கணக்க இன்ஸ்பிரேஷன் எடுக்கலாம் நாடகம்.
Absolutely. And think of your own life when you had to talk to somebody very difficult. Maybe, I mean, it could have been with maybe to a partner, maybe you had to propose, or maybe you had to break up, or maybe you had to give some tragic news to somebody, maybe you had to break a very difficult news to a friend, maybe you had to make somebody confess about something. How did you start your first line? Remember how much of tension, trouble, problem, thinking, everything, and then maybe the first line which you spoke actually on that day was Tea Kudikilama. It's a very powerful dialogue because it is fed in by so much of thought process. So you decide where your character needs to end, and you can give them the start.
இல்ல ஒரு பேட்ரிக் எப்படி ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றது, இப்ப நான் எப்படி பார்த்தேன்னா, இதை இந்த அவர் சொன்னார்ல ஒரு 6 கொஸ்டின்ஸ், என்ன வேணும், எதுக்காக வேணும், எதனால முடியல, எப்படி முடியலன்னா என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்ற போது, இப்ப எதனால தூங்க முடியல, இந்த கேள்விக்கு இந்த சீனை கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடியே அவருக்கு ஒரு தெளிவு இருக்கு. அவர் ஏதோ ஒன்ன பார்த்துட்டு வந்துட்டா அதனால தூங்க முடியல. ஆனா படிக்கிற நம்மளுக்கோ, நாடகம் பாக்குற நம்மளுக்கோ, நார்மலா ஒரு வீட்டுக்கு வந்திருக்கா, புதுசா அவ தூங்க முடியல போலன்றது மாதிரி தொடங்கி, அது பின்னாடி அந்த எதனால தூங்க முடியலைன்றதுக்கான பதில்கள் கிடைக்க ஆரம்பிக்கிறது மாதிரி சீனை படிக்கிறவங்களுக்கு தெரியும். ஆனா எழுதுறவங்களுக்கு வந்து நான் அப்படி பாக்குறேன், எப்படி அதை தொடங்குறது. ஸோ என்ன அந்த தெளிவு இருக்குது இல்லையா, எதனால தூங்க முடியலைன்ற ஒரு கிளியர் பிக்சர் இருக்கிறதுனாலதான் அவர் போய் எதுல தொடங்குறதுனா சரியா இருக்கும்னு அந்த வார்த்தையை போட்டாரோ அப்படிங்கிறது மாதிரி ஒரு கேள்வி வந்தது. ரெண்டா பிரிச்சு பார்த்தேன், எழுதுறதுக்கும் படிக்கிறதுக்குமான வித்தியாசம் எப்படி இருக்கு.
Definitely, if you start with these 6 questions, it will give you a fantastic a fantastic frame in which you can create your dialogues. You will not go off track because you know exactly where your character needs to start and where you need to finish them off. So these 6 questions help me, but there is no rule for playwriting. Tomorrow you will create your own rules. There might be something else. I'm just sharing with you what has helped me to create plays.
இல்ல
So these
பரவாயில்ல.
six,
ஆனா இப்ப இந்த குரூப்லயுமே அவங்க ஏங்கிக்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஏதாவது மெத்தட் கொடுங்க, ரூல்ஸ் கொடுங்க, ஏதாவது ஃபார்முலா இருந்தா சொல்லுங்கன்னு. நீங்க தான் முதல் முறையா ஒரு 6 பாயிண்ட் இருக்கு, 7 வார்த்தைகளுக்கு மிகாம ஒரு ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ் எழுதுங்க அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஆரம்பத்துல இருந்து ஒரு 7 வார்த்தைகளை சொல்லி ஒரு வார்த்தையில டிஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க, 2 வார்த்தை இருக்கணும் அந்த சென்டென்ஸ்ல, 3 வார்த்தை அப்படி இருக்குன்னு அது சொன்னது கூட ஒரு ஒரு பயிற்சியா எழுதி பாக்குறதுக்கு இது ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு இதா இருக்கலாம். அப்புறம் ரூல்ஸை உடைக்கலாம், இது பண்ணலாம். அது முதல்ல பழகிக்கிறலாம். பழகுறதுக்கு ஒரு இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு அடிப்படை கிடைக்கிறதும் நல்லதுதான் நான் நினைக்கிறேன்.
Definitely. These 6 questions will help all of you when you are writing your scripts. Not just that, நீங்க எந்த உங்களோட ஃபேவரட் படத்தோட ஒரு நல்ல சீன் எடுத்துங்க, any scene of a good movie, employ these 6 questions, you will get answers. You take any good scene, whether I mean, I immediately think of Tevar Magan between Mr. Sivaji Ganesan and Mr. Kamal Haasan, or Kurdeep Punal between Nasser sir and Mr. Kamal Haasan. You will be able to answer these 6 questions for both the characters, and you will be able to clearly see the conflict. Conflict is what makes a scene work. Words are there just to help the actors go towards the resolution of the conflict. So this is nothing more than hard work. Sit down and write every day. Every day you write at least 100 words, create a scene of 100 words, 10 dialogues between 2 characters. You maintain that kind of a writing habit, slowly you start writing plays of 21,000 words, which is a full-length play, 25,000 words. Easily you will be able to do it. End of the day, you are just, whatever is there in real life, you are kind of trying to bring it inside a particular dimension so that it can be viewed on stage. And you can do this illegal activity also, but don't get caught. Nowadays, we don't need dictaphones. You can just use your cell phones. When you sit at a tea kada, or when you are or you are in a hotel, or you know you are going to meet some relatives and there is going to be some problem, switch on the recorder. Then go home and listen to the cadence, the talk, where did the pauses occur. Maybe write it down, paraphrase it and write it down completely. And then see, you have a scene. You have a scene worthy of a Harold Pinter play. Harold Pinter's scenes are constructed from the kind of language games he hears in real life. Each accent, what it does to the word, how many times a person is repeating a particular word. And that will help all real life experiences. So yes, I think then we can conclude for today. And the last, yes.
May I
sorry?
ask one question?
Yes, ma'am.
It is apart from the workshop and everything, how to get connected to NSD and all, because I'm living in Ghaziabad. I'm trying to connect with NSD or any other dramatist group or something, but I'm not able to.
Why do you want to connect to NSD?
Obviously, for I'm interested from the beginning, script writing and everything. For this only, just want to explore this.
To the best of my knowledge, I don't think NSD has a script writing program.
Yeah, they are not having that. They are not having that.
Yes.
But to the other drama troops or any other thing, dramatist, and even that one, Arvind, no? What is
Arvind Gaur.
Arvind Gaur and everybody, and many other troops are there. But I'm not able to connect to anyone because of this pandemic also. Since 2 years only, I'm trying.
So, Ms. Banu, what you do is you please take my number from Bharati and you send me a text. I will connect you to some people in Delhi. And you can talk to them. But I should also warn you that because of the pandemic, lots of theater groups have not been able to work. But you can connect with them and talk to them and see if someone is working, someone is ready to, possibly even meet and talk to you. Let me send you a few numbers. They are Delhi-based people. Talk to them, and I hope something works out for you there.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
No, not at all. My pleasure. So the last play which I wrote called Margari, that play is going to release online very soon. So through Bharati, I will keep you all informed. So you will all have a chance to see a play which I wrote and directed on stage. Of course, since it's been an online platform, you can see it from wherever you are. And yes, thank you so much Thank you for what I always like to call as the communion of theater, getting together and sharing things which mean a lot to all of us. It's always a great pleasure. Gives a lot of strength, in these times to know that there are so many of us there who are kind of tied together in one thought process. So please stay safe, all of you, and keep writing. Nothing better than writing to make yourself into a playwright. And there are no formulas, no secret mantras, no powders which we can give to you 4 days and 5th day a play will come out. It won't. You will have to sit and write every day. R.K. Narayan used to say that he will write 100 words in his diary every day. At the end of the day, he will read those 100 words and he will say they'll be pure shit, but he has to write 100 words every day. Same way, write a scene every day between two characters pursuing a conflict, and you will enter into the secrets of playwriting. It is revealed through a lot of hard work. Absolutely. So thank you so much, all of you. Thanks for having me here, Bharati. Wish you all the very best. Please take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, all of you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much for you also.
Thank you, Bharati. Thanks
It
so
was a
much.
nice session. It's a wonderful session and detail and where we are, and we needed to go again. Your session is in the right place.
Thank you so much.
I really thank you for in behalf of Kaleidoscope and theater.
Thank you
very much. Yeah.
Thank you. Magichi. Thank you.
Yeah, Magichi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.